Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Normal is broke and common sense is weird. So we're here to help you transform your life. From the Ramsey Network in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio, this is The Ramsey Show. I'm Ramsey personality George Kamel, joined by best-selling author Jade Warshaw, and we're taking your calls at 888-825-5225. Peter is in Philadelphia to kick us off. What's going on, Peter?
Hi, how are you? Just stressed about bills and thinking about bankruptcy.
Oh, man. How much debt do you have?
A little over $25,000.
What kind of debt is
maybe
that?
Closer to 30. Car, personal loan, hospital bills, gas bill.
And what's left on the car?
The car's 10. The personal loan is 11. And that's just, like personal loan, just because I'm trying to get myself out of a jam, so I go back into it.
Mm-hmm. You're in a cycle. What do you make?
Right. 126 base salary.
Dude.
And I think last year I pulled in about 180 for overtime.
America just lost all empathy here. You make $130,000 and you're calling in trying to file bankruptcy over 20?
Yeah, what else is going on? What else is eating your lunch? Because it's not $25,000 of debt.
You could pay off this debt in less than 6 months.
Time. I mean, I do have other things. I take care of my kids.
Okay, tell us about that, because right now we're trying to understand where is the problem.
Well, so I don't have a court order on the kids. I just, whatever they need and whatever their mom needs, I just take care of.
That's true, but again,
but
if you were,
I'm not gonna lie, misspending.
Okay, that's what it is. Because even if you were married with the kids in the house, taking care of them, $125,000 income would still be a great income. So it's not the kids. It sounds like you're overspending in other areas. Do you have any kind of budget that you're on?
No, not really.
Okay, there's the problem. So I guarantee you today, if you were to just do an old school budget on a piece of paper, if you just said, all right, here's the money I take home, my net amount when I take home my check, and now I write down what I'm spending money on, and I'm just going to go back through my bank statement, I think you would see the problem. Are you dating anybody?
No.
Okay, so then you're just spending money on yourself. Is it food? Are you doing a lot of door
If
dashing?
I looked at your bank statement, what would I see as the number one thing that you're overspending on?
I don't know. Maybe fast food.
Mm-hmm.
I guess going out, fast food.
Uh-huh. You go out with your buddies? You guys go have some drinks?
Really.
Anything like that?
I don't have time for that. I work too much overtime.
Okay, so here's what George and I are saying. If you make 100, and I mean, we could talk about taxes and nickel and dime it, but essentially, if you made $100,000 a year, 126, you could live on 100 and pay this debt off, right? At the basic level in less than a year. Can you live on $100,000 a year?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too. You're a single guy. I mean, yes, you've got your kids to take care of. How many? 2?
3.
3. Okay. How old are they?
16, 20, and 9.
Okay. And the 20-year-old, is she in college? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you put towards that every month?
About 600.
Okay.
And what are you taking home? Like, what ends up in your paycheck? Is it like $8,000?
Oh, that's right. I also have a pension loan out.
A pension loan?
Tell us about that.
Yeah. Oh, I totally forgot about that because that comes out of my check automatically. So that I think I have probably about $24,000 left to pay on that.
Okay, how much comes out of your check?
Is $463 every 2 weeks.
What caused you to take that pension loan?
Oh, that's a long story.
Okay. What about credit cards? Are you using those?
No. Oh, glad you said that. So I got about 6,000 on Capital One.
Okay, now it's starting to come to view.
Okay. We went from 25 up to 50. Now we're at 56. Anything else you want to tell us about? Like hand on the Bible, what else do you have going on?
Student loans?
I forgot about the Capital One card.
Did you forget about student loans?
I cut it up a year ago. No, I don't have any student loans.
Thank God.
Is any of this in collections?
The Capital One card
Okay.
and the gas bill.
All right. Are you ready to like take control of this as a grown man with 3 about grown kids, and you're like, dude, I'm ready to clean up my life? Because if you're ready, we can help you. If not, call us back when you are.
I got it. Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I'm just too stressed out.
Starting tonight, you're going to make this budget, and it's going to give you so much peace just to have the numbers laid out in front of you. Even if it's scary, even to go, ugh, I don't like what I see. At least it's not the boogeyman and all the unknowns. I'd rather you be scared of the facts than the unknowns. So we're going to gift you every dollar to actually make the budget. It's a digital app you can download, and you're going to list out your income for the month. And if that's $7,500, you list that in the income section. Below that, you're going to list every expense you can think of, including your minimum debt payments. And what you're going to see very quickly is if you're going over budget every month or under budget, and you should have wiggle room to use that money to throw at the debt.
And I want you to use your bank statement as a guide when you do this, because I kind of feel like you have something that's living in your head of what you spend versus what's actual reality. So if you don't use that bank statement, you're going to say that you spend $400 on food, right? When the reality is you might spend like $1,100 on food, right? So go back, get the bank statement for September, and use that as a guide when you make this budget going into November, okay? That's going to let you see, okay, now you're going to see, oh yeah, this pension thing came out. Now you're going to see, oh yeah, this is what I spend on gas. And it's going to take you, you could do it. If I felt like you had an accurate picture, you could probably do it in 30 minutes. But I really think you need to look at these numbers. It's going to take you an hour or so to get this done. But it's going to give you, like George said, so much peace. And the other question is, are you investing at all?
No, nothing serious. Just pennies on Robinhood.
No, boy.
Oh, okay.
Let's delete Robinhood for now. Can you promise me that?
Yeah.
Okay, we're not really building any wealth over here.
don't-
We're just wasting time.
No.
And what do you get every year when you do your taxes? What kind of refund do you get?
I don't. Last year was the first time I owed.
Okay.
Okay, good. Yeah, the budget, I mean, it's the blood work. It tells all. It tells everything that's wrong with you.
Okay.
So once you do this budget, you're going to figure out your main expenses. Here's like food, utilities, housing, transportation, insurance, minimum debt payments. Anything beyond that, you're going to get real judicious and cut out. And that means eating out, that's got to go, because we got to clean this mess up. And we don't want it to take 10 years. Let's do this in 18 months. Does that sound better?
Yeah.
Well, think about this. You got $56,000 in debt, let's say, just using ballpark numbers, and you throw $2,500 a month at this. You're done in 22 months, less than 2 years. That sounds great, right?
Yeah.
And we avoid
it
bankruptcy,
sounds
which
great
is going to
in theory,
implode our life for the next 7 years and hurt your ability to get jobs, to rent apartments. It's going to hurt you in a huge way to file bankruptcy, especially over debts these small.
Yeah.
And so I don't think bankruptcy is your answer. I think you are the answer, Peter. So hang on the line. We're going to gift you every dollar. Make that budget tonight. It's going to give you a whole lot of clarity. And the new every dollar, in that onboarding, that first 15 minutes, it's going to show you how much margin you will create if you decide to commit. And so it's like we're going to be in your pocket, guiding you along the way on this journey. And we are rooting for you, man. We think you're worth it. We think those kids are worth it. And you're very capable. If someone's willing to pay you $130,000 a year,
come on,
you are smart enough to make a budget and get out of this debt once and for all. But first, you got to stop going into it. Debt is not a shortcut. It's not the answer, man. You are. Hey, quick reality check. AI isn't just for sci-fi nerds and Silicon Valley tech bros anymore. It's the new weapon of choice for every scammer with fast Wi-Fi and bad intentions. Identity thieves could be using AI right now to steal your info in ways that would have sounded impossible just 5 years ago. We're talking voice cloning, deepfake videos, filing bogus tax returns, draining your bank and retirement accounts, and even home title fraud. And it can happen fast, so most people don't find out until it's too late. So as someone who has had his identity stolen before, I don't mess around. I use Xandr ID theft protection because it keeps up with today's threats without the crazy price tag other companies charge. You get real-time monitoring across your whole financial and digital life, and if something does go down, they'll give you the full white glove treatment, like 24/7 restoration services by pros based in the US and up to $2 million in stolen funds and expense coverage. So you don't need to live in fear, but you do need to be smart about protecting your identity from thieves. So go to Xandr.com or call 800-356-4282 and get yourself protected today. The all-new Every Dollar is here. You've heard us talk about it, and now it's way more than just our world-class budgeting app. There's a ton of advanced features to help you make faster progress with your money, and the average person finds thousands of dollars in margin in just the first 15 minutes. So start Every Dollar for free today. Get it in the App Store or Google Play. Tiffany is up next in New York City. What's going on, Tiffany?
Hi, George and Jade. Can you hear me well?
Yes. What's going on?
Oh, okay, perfect. So my mother-in-law, she is currently 60 years old. She has nothing saved for retirement. She's pretty much banking on the idea that my husband and I would take care of her when she's physically unable to work anymore.
Is she? What's her health like now at 60?
So she is blind in one eye. So she used to work at a nail salon, but because after losing sight in one eye, she is unable to work there.
Okay.
She is currently working ironically, as a caregiver.
Okay. What does she earn? Do you know?
I don't know the exact amount, but I do know it covers basically her necessities: rent, utilities, food, and transportation.
So how long has she been single? How long has your father-in-law been out of the picture?
So father-in-law is still in the picture, but they're separated. They're divorced.
Okay. And how long has that been?
I would say over 20 years.
Okay. So my point is she's had time to adjust to life on her own. And you're just saying she just does the bare minimum? Is that what you're...
Yeah, so pretty much she was good up until she couldn't work as a nail technician anymore. And then with her current job now, she can only take on so many hours because she says physically she can't work full time.
Okay.
So basically she's just doing what she can. But I'm just worried because she really has nothing saved up for retirement. She did have I think she had like $20K saved up. But then when she was out of the job, after she lost her job working as a nail tech, she kind of went through all that. So she's basically at nothing now.
What's your husband say about all this? What's he think?
So their relationship is a little bit of an interesting one. She recently got back into my husband's life, I would say, since 2020. Their relationship was a little bit strained because when his parents did divorce, she left the picture. And my husband I believe he was a teen when this had happened. So she only recently got back into the picture around the time my husband and I were dating.
Wow.
Interesting.
So is he wanting to help her at all in any way, or are you guys wanting to set up a boundary to say, hey, we can't support you in any way?
I think he's at a situation where, of course, he doesn't want his mother out on the street, if
Sure.
something, God forbid, something were to happen. But he also we both kind of agreed that there would be a lot of resentment towards her if we have to bear all the financial responsibilities.
What's her living situation? Is she a renter? Does she have a house? How does she live?
So she is renting, but she's renting with 2 other roommates.
Great.
So
it's like Golden Girls over there, or what?
Pretty much.
Sounds awesome.
That is awesome.
Her rent is $1,000. So if she splits it the way it is New York City, so it's rent's expensive.
Mm-hmm. So she has $1,000 for rent. What's your financial situation, Tiffany? How are you and your husband doing?
I think we're doing pretty well. We do have our first child that was born May of last year. So the only thing is, of course, with rent that we're paying, and then there's daycare costs. Unless we want to give up our retirement, I feel like I don't know if it's selfish of us for not wanting to give her money on the side for her retirement.
It's not. But let's even see if it's necessary. So the questions that I would have, if I were in your shoes, I'd want to get more facts. So first off, I'd want to make sure I'm not assuming that she wants, me to take care of her. I want to know point blank. And so I'd probably sit down and ask the question. And
oh, no. Yeah. So when the situation happened, when she had lost her job earlier, and she had to get surgery, eye surgery, around that time when she was out of a job, she did come to my husband to ask for money.
For
And
just
of
on a
course, he
one-time
didn't-
thing, or say, hey, you're going to be the one taking care of me during retirement. I hope you know. Those are two different
So
things.
my husband set a boundary. He said he was going to only give her money for 3 months, and he had expected her to get back on her feet after she recovered.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that was it. I'm only going to give you money for 3 months, and then you're sort of on your own.
Right.
But of course, he's a softie in the sense that if she was, out of money and she may end up on the street, he wouldn't let that happen.
Sure. Because here's what I'm going to just tell you where my mind is. What you said is different from taking care of me in retirement. Those are two different things. It's one thing to have had surgery, be going through a tough time trying to figure out where you can work because you lost your job because of your vision, right? There's that,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's you're taking care of me in retirement, which is going to happen maybe 20 years from now. So I'd want to get clarity on that. I don't think you have clarity there. I think you kind of are making an assumption, and I can see why you're jumping to that. I can see why you're doing that, but I'd want to know that. And then if it does seem like, hey, no, this really is the expectation, I've gotten clarity on that, then I'd want to know, okay, since you're expecting that, then that gives me a right to look into your finances, right, George? Like, you better be telling me, what's your Social Security going to be? What do you pay? Show me your bills, right?
If I'm paying your bills, I'm going to be in charge of how much you're paying for those bills and what your spending is. So that's part of this deal. But I would really push to have her live an independent life, and that's going to take some coaching. And I don't think you should get in the middle of it if it's his mom, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's going to sound like, we love you. We want to make sure that you're taken care of. We also need to have a plan for you to live independently. And right now, we can't financially support you. We got a lot going on. We live in a high cost of living area. We have a baby. We're paying for daycare. So here's what we can do. We want to help you help yourself with whatever resources we can to get you into a sustainable place. But we cannot and will not just support you for the rest of your life and cover all of your bills. We can't do that. And then it's on her to figure it out.
Yeah, because there's still time. There's time here for her to create something for herself. And if you guys play a part in helping her do that, I think that's a wonderful thing, because financial literacy and financial illiteracy is a very real thing. Yeah. So if you can help her understand, okay, you're 60, you've still got 10 years to really make something happen for yourself. Here's how you do it. I think that's a wonderful thing. But all that is going to start with you getting clarity on really what the expectation is from her, and then you clearly setting expectations on your end and setting those boundaries on your end. That's what I would do.
And if it gets to the point where she is truly disabled, then she can get on disability.
That's true.
And eventually maybe she'll get some Social Security if she decides to take that at 62 or 3 or whatever. And so we need to show her the options that are at her disposal versus her relying on you and you becoming Bank of Tiffany is going to be a bad plan, because you're right. It's going to create resentment, and it's going to create entitlement on her part to where now she goes, well, why even work full time? I can work part-time or maybe not work at all if they're just going to float my life. So that's this scary, slippery slope that we're headed towards.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So that's going to be you and your husband coming together, making a plan, sticking to it, spit shake, saying, I know you're a softie. You can't give in. When she goes, yeah, but everything I've done for you. It's like, hey, yes, I'm grateful for what you've done, and we can't take care of you for the next 20 years.
I'm just glad that you're talking about it, Tiffany, because the truth is a lot of us experience these. We start to see these cracks financially expose themselves in family members or in our aging parents. And it's kind of like we just watch it happen from afar. And you have the opportunity to jump in there and set those expectations. You have the opportunity to jump in there and get the facts and hopefully try to set them on the right path, because a lot can happen in 10 years financially. You can either dig a deeper hole, or you can actually get yourself on track and create some form of a nest egg, something that's sustainable. So if you're listening and you're seeing this play out in your life like so many of us are, don't just sit back idly. Go be about some business and get some information.
And if you are that older parent, please don't do this to your kids. Don't be a burden. I want them to, like when my parents pass away, I want to grieve how much I love them.
Right.
Not, goodness gracious, at least they're off my payroll.
Woo!
And that's the resentment it creates when you put this on your kids.
I love entrepreneurs. Don't forget, guys, I started my company on a card table myself, so I know what it's like to have people counting on you. your team, your family, not to mention your customers. And when you're the one signing the paychecks, you can't afford to fly blind. But I'll be honest, early on, one thing that nearly sunk us was wasting time with spreadsheets that didn't add up because business units didn't talk to each other. I finally told my team, just fix it. And they did. We got NetSuite. That was years ago, and we've never looked back. See, NetSuite isn't just for tech giants. It's built for growing businesses like yours. Over 43,000 businesses already run on NetSuite, including a lot that started just like you. And now, with built-in AI, NetSuite is helping them even more. It's one system connected to every part of your business for real-time insights, not guesswork. NetSuite AI flags inventory issues, cash flow risks, even supplier delays before they become problems. So you can trust the data, stop wasting time, and make the right decisions faster. Take a free product tour today at netsuite.com/Ramsey. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey.
Carol is up next in Toronto. What's going on, Carol?
Hi there. Thank you so much for taking my call, Jordan Jade. I do just want to say to really quickly, thank you guys so much for what you do. I found the podcast 2 months ago, and it's given me so much direction in my life, and I just think you guys are changing lives, so thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for listening. We're glad it's been helpful for you.
Yeah, it's been great so far. Lots of work to do. But so we had a series of kind of unfortunate events that took place over the pandemic, and it caused us to take on quite a bit of bad debt. So we made improvements on the home with plans of investments coming through, and those investments did not to come fruition and essentially went to zero. So since then, we've been really treating our Heloc like a giant credit card prior to me finding this podcast. So I'm in Canada, so our mortgage is up for renewal in June. I'm in baby step 2, and the amount of the Heloc is so overwhelming that I feel like I'm not sure whether I should be rolling it into our mortgage in June or whether we should be continuing for the next 5 or 6 years on paying it down, keeping in mind that I have, 3 kids who are looking to go to university in the next 5 to 8 years.
How much is the Heloc?
So the Heloc is at $400,000.
Oh my gosh. What's your income?
Mm-hmm. So our income, before or after tax? We've got some pretty hefty taxes.
Before taxes.
Before about $500 a year.
Oh my gosh, woman.
Yeah,
you couldn't
but
cash
after,
flow the renovations, making
tax.
$500,000?
Yeah, but after tax, it's only about $300 a year is what we take home.
Okay, well, what's your...
Yeah, like it's significant tax.
What do you owe on the house aside from this?
Yep, so we have a mortgage for $750,000, and that's at 3.6%. But the house is valued at $2.5 million.
Okay, what's the percentage on the Heloc? What's the interest?
It's 4.5.
Okay. And then what other debt do you have outside of the mortgage and Heloc?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
I thought you were going to hit me with a bunch of consumer debt. All right.
No, because it's all rolled into one, and I think I've been binging this, and I've never heard how you attack just like one big...
Yeah. Generally, here's our parameter with HELOCs. If it's over half your annual income, we say, hey, roll it into your baby step 6, which is when you pay off the mortgage. So that's when you would pay it versus in baby step 2 with other consumer debt. Since you guys have no consumer debt, do you have an emergency fund? Do you have savings?
We just started that. We have some education savings for about $50,000 for the kids right now.
Okay.
And then just retirement fund, we have maybe a couple $100,000, but other than that, not really.
Do you have anything in cash? Like if you had an emergency today, how would you pay for it?
I already did baby step 1, so we probably have about $5,000 in cash.
Okay. But your next paycheck is going to be sizable. You're going to make like what, $25,000 on the next check?
Yeah, like per month, my husband and I we bring home around $25,000 a month.
Okay, how much of that could you throw into a savings account next month, for example?
If I wasn't putting it towards the Heloc, then probably $7,000.
So you guys are spending close to $20,000 a month.
I'd say our spending, kids are in private school, the interest on the HELOC is about $1,800. So, yeah, like I'd say we spend around $12,000 a month on,
The private school for all three kids.
Yes.
Man, that's a real. Your burn rate is high here. You've got a lot of expenses
really
going
high,
on.
yeah.
I'm guessing we're not going to put them in public school to clean up this mess.
Well, they're almost out, so into to middle school. So that's going to change and get better over the next couple of years. I didn't want to feel like I was rolling the HELOC into the mortgage and kicking the can down the road, and whether I should, roll some of it in and then keep some of it and attack that really fast. I'm not sure.
I kind of like them broken up. Is the HELOC going to have a variable rate here?
I was going to ask the same thing.
It's currently variable, but again, in June we signed the next 5-year mortgage, so it would lock in at whatever the interest rate is, which is
God bless the strangeness of Canada. Every 5 years we reset the mortgage rates.
What's going to be the new mortgage rate when you renew in June? Because it's 3.6 now. What's it going to go to?
It'd probably go down, so between 2.9 and 3.2.
Interesting. So have you done the math? If you did that, what percentage of your income would this mortgage be?
So that would move us from the 25% to about 29 to 30% of house expenses.
On a 30-year, or are you doing a 15-year?
We haven't discovered that yet. My call's tomorrow with the bank.
Okay. My guess is, they don't do the 30 and 15. You have like a 5-year?
Oh, that's...
And it rolls every...
Yeah, you still do like a 15 or 20-year, but every 5 years you revisit it and you get to redo it.
Okay.
How often does the rate on the HELOC variate?
It's variable. So it was high over the last couple of years, but dropping now. It's every month that the interest comes out, but then just depending on what the Bank of Canada does, the interest rate goes up and down.
Okay.
If there was a world where you locked this in at 2.9 and it was 25% of your take-home pay and it kind of fit those same parameters, it wouldn't bother me. I don't mind it being separate, though, for the idea of you really getting after it. I'm afraid that if you roll it in, you won't get after it the way you need to, and you'll kick the can down the road.
Okay. So there's maybe a point in which some of it we roll in as long as we keep that 25% into the home from our income?
Well, the rule of thumb here is you don't want your mortgage to be any more than 25% of your take-home pay. So after taxes, you don't have to think about, insurance and investing and all that jazz. I'm just talking about after taxes. You don't want it to be more than 25% with all in, with HOA fees, insurance, all of that. Because once you get above that, it can be too much of your world. So that's kind of what I was looking at 4.5 on 400,000. Yeah, I wouldn't want to see that. I wouldn't want that on a variable rate, let me just say.
I just feel like I'm less emotionally attached to interest rates. I could give a rip at this point. I just want to see you guys plow through these debts. And so personally, I would keep the HELOC separate and make an aggressive goal to pay this off in, let's say, 3 years. It's $133,000 a year. That's $11,000 a month. Come hell or high water, we're going to throw $11,000 a month at the HELOC. Is that something you guys could do?
Yeah, I think we could. I just needed to know. I've heard that last week it was like if it's more than half this, you roll it in, and I just wasn't sure if there was a difference.
It's not about rolling it in; it's about where you're attacking it. So
it's the timing of it. Mm-hmm. And so for you guys, since you don't have a consumer debt, you're just looking at these two debts, going, "What do I do with these?" I would just plow through. If you can do more than $11,000 a month, be my guest. I'm just throwing a random goal out there. You and your husband should sit down tonight and go, "We got to clean this up." Mm-hmm. And to that end, I might delay some of the kids stuff. Like, we got time to catch up on that. Right now, we've got this thing eating our lunch with these giant mortgages and HELOCs. So I would work to knock that out and then knock the mortgage out. Because now if we can do 400 in 3 years, well, 750, we could probably knock that out in less than 6 years.
Okay.
So think about that.
Great.
In 9 years, you've got the kids off to college, right?
Yep.
And you have no mortgage, no HELOC. So that's the kind of future I want you guys to start envisioning, and then reverse engineer it to go, okay, what do we got to do today, this month, to get there?
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for the call.
That's a good question.
Love hearing from our Canadian listeners. Just to know that Canada has its own problems. People are making crazy decisions all over the world.
All over the world.
But America goes first. We're like, you know what? We're going to show you the way with the HELOC to do all the renovations and go into all the consumer debt. But the good news is they have an amazing income.
They do, and that
it's hard to
do.
feel bad when you're making $500,000, even after taxes, $300,000. Quite the shovel.
Yeah.
But you can see you just make decisions with bigger zeros on the end when it comes to debt.
Exactly. It's very relative in that way. But yeah, this is. Yeah.
I'm rooting for Carol.
More money, more problems.
Yeah. But here's the thing. You got to just, baby steps, one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And also, what can we do to decrease our lifestyle and expenses? Because even with $25,000, you can see how quickly it can disappear.
Yeah,
when
absolutely.
You got, the cleaners, the private school, this, that, the other, the Heloc, the mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
It just eats away at even the highest incomes. And so you got to get control, live on less than you make. And if you get a raise, ignore it and just invest the difference. Give more, save more. That's the key to becoming truly wealthy, and I think Carol and her husband will get there in no time. Hey guys, if you're already shopping at Aldi, way to maximize your grocery budget. Good for you. Now, here's how to level up your savings. Make Aldi your first stop every week. From fresh organic produce to grass-fed beef to marinated chicken that's ready to cook to high-quality dairy products, you'll be able to snag everything you need without the hassle and nonsense. Just legit quality and low prices. And families like yours can save up to $4,000 a year just by shopping at Aldi. And that's not a hack, it's just a smarter habit. So stop overpaying, make Aldi your first stop for groceries, and watch the savings stack up. Find a store near you at aldi.us. That's ALDI.us. Savings based on regional analysis of Aldi versus select competitors. Prices may vary by location, product availability, and the market. Chase is in Knoxville up next. Chase, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. How are you? How can we help today?
Very good. Much better than I deserve. First off, but thanks to y'all's program. So I got a two-parter. First part is I've been in Gazelle intense for a while. We're actually debt-free, home, cars, everything.
Wow. Way to go.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm a little tired at this point because I've been working 2 to 3 jobs and just kind of figuring out when to put pause on, extra income and just kind of relax for a little while.
Yesterday.
Now.
Well, yeah, it's just, I guess, the scary part because we're single income right now. So part of me is just like,
but you're in baby step 7. You have no mortgage payment, right?
Correct. But I mean, we do want to move from where we're at now. I guess that's the quick answer of now is the time to stop that.
How long did it take you to accomplish this? How long have you been in this grind?
It was kind of on and off for 2 years because of the child and, just some complications around birth and stuff. So that's why Mama hasn't went back to work. So
okay, that's fine.
But yeah, it's been I guess on me for almost 2 years at this point. So
okay.
So like I said, just kind of wanting to hit pause on some of those, and that leads me into the second part. I've got a small business on the side that I have some employees that I don't know how to coach because I do a little financial coaching, and they seem to be misbehaving with all the money that I pay them, even though I gave them the position to kind of help them get out of debt.
Personally misbehaving with the money, or like as a part of the company misbehaving with the company?
No, personally misbehaving, just buying vehicles they don't need, buying recreational vehicles.
And these are
stuff
just,
like that.
How'd you find these people?
Family.
Wait, they're actual kin to you?
Yes.
Like cousins, uncles, aunts, who are we talking?
Parents.
You hired your parents for your small business, and they're going out and taking on debt. And you're like, well, that wasn't the intended goal. I gave them the job. So you gave them the job even though they really weren't qualified to help them out financially, quote unquote.
No, they're very qualified for the business. However, it's just they're adding small personal loans at this point to try to justify moving payments around. But other than that,
How many people is this? It's your parents? Is it anybody else?
No, it's just a business that I had started. It became overwhelming for me, like I said, with the newborn.
No, I'm talking about the part you said about, okay, there's two things we're talking about. You hired your parents to work in the business. You said they're qualified. That's all good. But over here, you found out that they're spending their money in a way that you don't like, correct? That has nothing
Correct.
to do with the business. That's just their personal life. But you're saying, hey, I know that's not very wise. I'd like to be able to help them out, right?
You feel like you're
Yeah,
enabling
so-
them by
Right.
doing
So how do
all
I go
this.
about it? Of like grace of like, I'm saying either I shut the business down and just walk away from it, or just keep it open and kind of guide them a little bit
I don't think
differently.
I don't think I this is my perspective. I don't think that one has to do with another. You're not enabling them because they're doing a job and they're getting paid for the job, right? It's not like
Okay.
you're not just giving them money because they asked for money. They're working and you're paying them wages, correct?
Correct.
So that's okay. Now you're talking about shutting down your business. What's that about? Because don't tell me that you're shutting down your business because your parents don't know how to spend their paycheck. That feels odd.
It's too layered. It's now that I guess technically we're at baby step 7, and I'm so tired from the last 2 to 3 years here
Okay.
that it's kind of a headache, and it's kind of it's not that much of my income to.
It's
kinda
not like the
just close
side
that down
business
anyways.
blew up and you're like, I could replace my full-time job. You're just like, I'm done with this
Correct.
side. It was a fun side hustle while I got out of debt. I'm done with it.
What does it bring
Correct.
in?
About $1,100 a month.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So-
How are you even paying your parents from that?
It's kind of subcontracted out to them. So
I think
But it's not like they're making $4,000 a month from this. They're not like paying the
no,
bills.
no, not at all. It's just.
Is it a side
supplement.
hustle for them too?
Yeah.
Okay, then just shut it down.
yeah.
If you were gonna like put them on the streets because now they're out of a job, then I'd be like, hey, let's be a little more cautious about this. But if you had the conversation with them, said, hey, I started this because I was trying to get out of debt. I'm kind of done with it emotionally, physically. I'm tired. So you guys are gonna need to. If you want more side hustle money, you're gonna find it elsewhere.
Yeah.
I'm shutting down the shop.
And I also think the whole thing of them, the way they're spending their money, if they're open to maybe you telling them a little bit about, Ramsey and how you figured out how to manage your money, I think that's fine. But honestly, I kind of feel like right now, that's the least of things you need to be worried about. It sounds like you have a lot going on at home with your wife and this baby. And when you called, that seemed to be the thing that was getting your goat. And I think your parents is just kind of this nuisance that you're observing over here. And I think you just need to kind of swap that away for now.
Because the truth is, you can't control what they do with their money.
Right.
And
No.
unless they invite
think
you into their life to coach them on it, then it's a moot point. It's going to just
Well, I
cause
think
resentment.
I think that's the part that gets me is like I do kind of like coach on the side, just kind of I guess freelance, whatever you want to
Have
call it.
you
But
offered that to them?
y'all-
Say, hey, I do coaching on the side. Like, I know I'm your son, and it's awkward, but I'd be happy to look at
Yeah,
your numbers.
It gets very sticky. So
They don't want
Then
you
you
to
just
dig
gotta
in.
cut it loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where I was looking for advice of just like when somebody doesn't want it, do I just need to walk away and
Yes.
just watch the train wreck happen?
Yep.
No, walk away.
Okay.
Because for people, like when when the student's ready, the teacher appears, and they're not ready. So one day they might be, and you might be the teacher, and one day they might be ready, and it's somebody else, maybe from their church or a friend of theirs. So you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
Right. Alrighty.
All you can do
you
is
so
live
much.
your life and hopefully do it in a way that makes them go, man, what's Chase doing over there? I'm
Uh-huh.
interested. Tell me more. But man, parents that's one of the hardest ones to tackle.
Yeah.
Because like they remember changing your diaper yesterday. They're not looking for financial advice from you.
Exactly.
Oh, but way to go, Chase. Baby step 7. That's impressive.
You said one of my favorite lines. You said it's a moot point.
Moot.
And
Yeah,
it
we
always
use the word
makes me
moot.
think of Friends when he says it's a moot point, a cow's opinion.
Oh, thank you for that. I needed a win today.
You needed that. It's a
Brennan
cow's
is in
opinion.
Houston up next. Brennan, take us home, man. What's going on? How can we help?
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Better than we deserve.
So I had a question for you. I'm in a position where I'm very blessed to be making the money I am. I'm 20. My base income's right around $100,000 a year pre-tax, but I'm struggling to decide between staying at this job or, having an opportunity to go to college for maybe a job that pays a little less, but it gives me more free time.
Free time? What does a 20-year-old need free time for? You got all the free time.
Unfortunately, no. You think I would? This job's traveling.
But do you
So I'm
have
going-
kids and a spouse?
I'm just saying this is the freest you're going to be. So what are you doing for work making $100,000 at 20?
So it's a traveling job. The simplest way to say it, it's basically large-scale HVAC. So we
Okay.
go from different sites. Like we're contracted with Walmart right now, so we'll jump from Walmart chain to Walmart chain and make sure it runs cold for the food storage and whatnot.
Got
So
it. Okay.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hours, but they compensate me well.
Yeah.
I have
Do you
next
like
to
it?
no bills at the moment.
Do you like the work?
I like the money.
Okay.
So what do you want to go
the
to
work-
college for? How clear are you on that?
It's relatively clear. Originally, my plan was going to be for college, but life got in the way, and I didn't feel like taking on a bunch of debt to go to college
Mm-hmm.
Good.
was a big problem. I was going to be going for either business administration or construction management.
Okay. Now you can cash flow it. Is that what you're saying? That you have the money that you could pay for it now?
50-50. I have the opportunity to go to college for free, but it would have to be in California due to my father. He was in the military, so I would get my tuition covered if I went out there. And we're in the talks right now about an arrangement where I'd pay a certain amount for rent or not
Okay.
paying at all, whatever.
I mean, I don't think you're not going to regret going to college debt free and doing the thing you really want to do and exploring that, because you're a skilled guy in the trades. And so if you can do it free, I'd go for construction management if that's the
Yeah.
field you want to be in. Business administration, I'd want some real clear answers on what's on the other side of that. I think construction management has more upside for you if that's the field you want to be in. So go for it, dude. Just do it all debt free. You're 20. You can take those kinds of risks now. Just don't go into debt to do it. That's the only parameter here. But explore, follow your heart, my friend. This is The Ramsey Show.
If you've listened to me for more than 5 minutes, you know that being normal with your money is not a good thing because normal is broke. And I want you to be weird. That's why I love what we're doing with Fair Winds Credit Union. Our friends at Fair Winds just launched a brand new Ramsey debit card, and it says, "Debt is normal, be weird," right on the front. I love that. Because every time you swipe it, you're choosing to live differently with no credit card payments and no debt. You see, Fairwinds has been helping people like you ditch debt faster and build wealth for years. They're not trying to shove credit cards or auto loans in your face like the big banks do. And they've worked with us to create the Smart Bundle for Ramsey fans. It includes a no-fee checking account, a high-yield savings account to supercharge your emergency fund, and now the Ramsey debit card to help you stay focused on the baby steps. We're excited for you to try it. So check them out today at fairwinds.org/Ramsey. That's fairwinds.org/Ramsey. Insured by the NCUA.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio. I'm George Kamel, joined by Jade Warshaw this hour. 888-825-5225 is the number to call if you want to join the conversation. Brian is in Topeka, Kansas up next. Brian, how can we help today?
Hey, so I have about $90,000 tied up, $90,000 in debt tied up in a truck and a camper since I travel for work. And I'm always like, I'm tired of being broke. I want to get this paid off in the next year. How do you get into that mentality of, like, whenever it comes to payday, I don't want to do it, but whenever it's time to pay the bill, I'm like, I want to get rid of this. How do you get in the mentality of
Making it
I
happen?
need to get this done? Yeah, making it happen.
Well, I mean, I think for you right now, it's just logic. I think you're seeing, okay, I have debt. Yeah, it makes sense to pay it off. Maybe you heard somebody say a good reason, right? But right now it still feels very external. And I think there's got to be something internally in you that is a real reason why. and that you're feeling to where that's the motivator for you to actually make this happen and move the needle. And a lot of times that's tied to our goals, like what our goals are in life. So if your goal is to get married, or if your goal is to buy a house, or your goal is to be the first person in your family to retire and it not be a burden, right? Whatever that thing is, I think that maybe you haven't connected it to that yet.
Okay. Because I've set goals for, I want to get the debt paid off in the next year, and then
But
buy
why?
some land. Why?
Mm-hmm.
To be financially free, and so I can continue on my other financial goals of buying land, building a house, and then.
But also,
whatever.
I'm asking deeper questions because money, it can't just be for more gain. Like, it can't be money for money's sake. I want to get out of debt so I can have more money. Why? So I can buy more things. Why? So I can have more things. There's got to be, like, you got to pinpoint it to something. It's, so when you said, hey, I want to buy land, why is land important to you? If you said, hey, I want to build a house, why is building a house important to you? What does it represent? So I think getting to that deeper level is really helpful. Otherwise, it's pretty surface. And a lot of times what we find, George, is people call in and they're just looking for the next thing they can do. And it's not satisfying them in the way that they thought it was.
Yeah, you'll get there and go, okay, I did it, but now what? And we want you to have some deeper purpose here. And I think you're getting there the way you're talking. What do you make?
Make about $110,000 before or after taxes.
After taxes, you make $110,000. Great income. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say I want to pay this off in 12 months, how are you planning on doing that?
So my checks are about $2,100 to $2,500, depending on overtime and how my hours are.
Is that twice a month?
The week. No, it's every week.
Okay, good. I was like, man, this math is not mathing for me. Okay.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's weekly. And just, I did the math, and right around $1,500 a week, get to a point to where I'm thinking like a $10,000 safety net, since I am traveling for work. And
how much do you have saved now?
Nothing.
Okay, so you're just paycheck to paycheck, spending everything you get. All right.
Do they cover your expenses, or is that on you? Do they reimburse you?
They pay incentives to come out here, and then the travel expenses are on me.
Okay. What's left on the truck and what's left on the camper?
There's 60 on the truck and 30 on the camper.
Okay. Do you need a $60,000 truck to do your job?
I don't.
Okay, because that's over half of your take-home pay. It's a lot of truck and it sounds like you're a young guy. How old are you?
20.
Okay. A 20-year-old does not need a $60,000 truck to do any job. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
A 50-year-old doesn't need a $60,000 truck to do a job. So if I'm in your shoes, I'm going to see what I can do to lighten my load, literally, and sell this truck and get a new-to-me truck for $15,000.
Okay.
So what is the truck worth if you sold it private party? How much could you get for it?
Probably 55 to 60. I haven't really done the blue book on it.
Cool. There's some homework. And if you are underwater on it by a little bit, you need to come up with that in savings, which you could do within a month. If you're underwater by $5,000, could you save $5,000 to save your life in the next month?
Yeah.
Great. So now you can clear the title. Now we still need another truck, right? You still need that?
Yeah.
So you're going to need to come up with another $10,000, $15,000 to get a beater truck is what this is going to amount to in the truck world.
Yeah.
Because you just need to get from A to B, right?
Well, it just
the
depends.
camper's taking you. You're just hauling the truck along with the camper?
No, it's a pull-behind camper, so I'm hauling the camper.
Okay.
And I need something reliable enough to get across the country if I need to. If the next job is in Nevada, to pack my stuff up and
but they make reliable trucks that are $20,000 instead of 60, right? You know the truck world.
Yeah.
So here's the problem: that $60,000 truck is depreciating like a rock the way you're driving it across the country, which is even more reason to not drive a super nice truck all the time across the country. Because the more mileage you're putting on it, the more wear and tear, that thing is plummeting in value. So that's what scares me: is you could be underwater $20,000 and not know it right now.
Yeah.
So I would do some homework on that part. And man, if you can get this done in 6 months instead of 12, Wouldn't you want that?
Yeah.
I'd rather you eat rice and beans for 6 months instead of a whole year. So I would be looking at what makes sense to sell and get something cheaper. And the way your income is, you could save up and buy something used pretty quickly. And the good news is lots of people are selling used campers out there. Lots of people selling used trucks out there.
Yeah, for sure.
And so just know it's a short season of rice and beans for you. Some people, like Jade, it took, over 7 years for her and her husband to pay off their debt. So for you to be able to do this in 6 months, you're going to blink. You won't even be able to drink yet on your 21st birthday by the time you're debt-free.
Yeah.
And just know, going back to what I was saying earlier, part of that why is it a good idea to do this now? And it's because you're unattached, man. Like, you got all the time in the world. You can do what you want with your money. There's no lady in your life that you have to share decisions with. You don't have kids. Like, there's so many reasons to do this now versus later. So just spend some time with that mentally and let that soak in.
Okay.
I'm proud of you, man. You're a very successful 20-year-old with a good head on your shoulders. We made some mistakes. The good news, anything that's vehicle related, at least we can sell those. You go into $100,000 of student loan debt, you can't go sell the degree.
Man, I wish you could.
Nobody's interested.
I would have sold mine off.
If anyone's interested in a communications degree, I have one available.
And then it's like Men in Black. They do the thing and you forget everything you learned as well.
Trust me, I don't remember anything I learned. I think that, I'm sorry, but who remembers things that, like, specific things they learned in college? Unless you were in like a
5.13,
a medical field, like, law, like something like that, where you kind of need to know some things.
Where the funny bone is located.
Couldn't tell you what happened in small group communication theory.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
Exactly. There you go. I just, as much as I don't like going into debt for vehicles, it's nice when we get a call and I go, hey, you could sell the truck.
That's a great.
You could sell the horse.
Yes.
Both are assets, technically.
You said it, not me.
If you've got collectors breathing down your neck and you're drowning in credit card debt, you don't need another debt relief company trying to sell you sunshine and unicorns. You need real help. And Guardian Litigation Group is the real deal. They're not a call center. They're actual attorneys. That means when a creditor tries to sue you, they can step into the courtroom and fight back. Now listen, debt settlement isn't pretty. It's not a magic wand, and I'd prefer you get out of debt the old-fashioned way. But if you're staring down bankruptcy and you've got no other way out, Guardian gives you a path to clean up the mess without paying a dime up front. Guardian's attorneys have helped over 55,000 people across the nation settle over $600 million of debt. So if you're ready to take back control of your life and stop cringing every time the phone rings, go to guardianlit.com/Ramsey. That's guardianlit.com/Ramsey.
Paid endorsement, attorney advertising, Guardian Litigation Group, LLP. Not available in Minnesota and Oregon. Results vary and no specific outcome is guaranteed. Debt settlement may negatively affect credit and not all creditors will negotiate or settle. Savings vary and may be taxable. Please review our website terms for more information.
Micah is in South Carolina. Welcome to the show, Micah. What's going on?
Hey, Jordan, Jade. Thanks for taking my call. How are you guys?
We're doing well. What's your question today?
So I'm trying to help my mom, and she is in a really tough financial position. I've been following the baby steps for about 4 or 5 years, and I'm doing well going through it, trying to use my experience to help her. And once we kind of got into the details, I'm kind of at a loss because I don't know how to help her. And so I need some additional advice.
What kind of help does she need? What's going on?
So she makes hardly any income. She's on Social Security. She's disabled. And she has, for her, what's a ton of credit card debt. and she can barely make minimums. So long story short, my dad died in 2013. I grew up on the baby steps with him back when it was just radio. I hated doing it, but I helped Dad do the finances. And then when he died, Mom ended up living off of credit cards for the last, 12 years. Her and my brother and my sister all bought they sold family property. They bought new property, paid for it outright, and then mortgaged houses. I kind of stayed out of it because I see what happens with family and money. I hear it all the time on here.
Smart man.
And I've seen her struggle. And I've offered to help. And my sister lived with her until she got married, so the finances are very intertwined. And I've offered to help, and I've offered to help, and I've offered to help, and it's always been turned down by my mom and my sister. I said, look, the whole powder butt syndrome, there's not really a whole lot I can do until they ask for it.
And so she is a part of these properties?
Yes. So mom owns a majority of the land. That's now all new family property. The land itself is paid for, and she's got a mortgage on the property.
How much land? How many acres?
Collectively, I think between my brother and my mom and all of it, it's like 40 acres.
Okay, so how many people are included in this land? Is your brother, is your mom, your sister?
Yes, so my sister just got married, and the plan is for her to move back into the house to help take care of Mom. She just had a baby, and so all of that is a whole complicated.
They're all just living together in this commune on the land?
What's it worth?
Yeah, kind of.
What's all that land with the house on it worth? I'm just curious.
I don't know as of right now. I know they bought it for like $9 an acre, and so it's probably worth a lot more than that.
We're wondering, is part of it can be sold to clean up Mom's debt since she's part owner?
It's a lot of acres. Could you sell off 20 of it or however much needed to clean up her debt and give her a nest egg to draw from?
I think it is. I think if I offered that as a solution, that's going to be a non-starter.
What is their solution so that Mom doesn't Mom isn't broke the rest of her life?
Right.
Well, and that's where I'm kind of as the outsider now. I'm trying to help her with what I can, but I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback. And so I tried to just go, hey, let me help you with your finances that you have now. And it's always been turned down until she called me in tears, not being able to make minimums. And I said, I will gift you money, but I would love for you to let me help. And
what'd she say
now
to that?
that I've seen, she tearfully, kind of depressedly accepted.
Okay, and then what happened next?
And so it gave us the opportunity to actually go through the numbers and see, what her income is, what her outgoing is, and it's a lot worse than I thought.
What is her income?
So she makes $1,800 a month off of Social Security disability.
Okay, nothing else. There's nothing else coming in.
There's nothing else coming in.
No money saved, no nest egg, nothing anywhere except this land.
Correct.
And is she paying the mortgage on her own right now?
So she's paying a portion of it. Mortgage is $875. She's paying $375 of it, and my sister is paying $500 of it.
Okay. Now your sister, tell us about her because she's living in the house with your mom. She's paying the majority of the mortgage. She's has a stake in this land. What does your sister say to all this? Have you sat down with your siblings and said, "Hey, here's the deal with Mom. What are we gonna do?"
Yes.
And how does that go?
So it hasn't gone well. My sister has not made very good financial decisions, in my opinion.
Okay.
She's doing her own little, debt consolidation thing right now that is, they're letting it default, and then she's, paying them to do it. And I advise against it,
Sure.
Trying to follow the teachings of what y'all tell us.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's not currently living with Mom. She was living with her until she got married a year and some change ago.
But she's
She
just
just had
paying
a
the
baby a
mortgage,
month ago.
even she's paying the mortgage even though she's not staying there.
Correct, because the plan is for her to come back, and eventually, when mom dies, it'll be her house. So again, it's all very intertwined.
Got it.
But so she's
do you
got
not
1,800
think,
coming in.
Do you not think that, because part of me is thinking, okay, if this plays out like you think it is, which is the track record is they're not doing things the way you think you should be doing them. And they're not making smart choices. At some point, this is going to implode. Do you not feel like when this implodes, that's when the sister's going to be left holding the bag? Because she's the one that's going to be living there, and she's the one that's going to want the house. And in order for her to keep the house, she's going to have to sell off some of this land.
Well, and the creditors are going to come after the estate, which your sister's a part of.
Right.
And so there's no way anyone's getting out of this scot-free here. And so for people who have a lot of plans, they are really terrible at planning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know.
And I don't know how much
decided to stay out of it.
Do you get any portion of this when this all, like when your mom passes?
I declined all of it.
Okay,
because I know what it'll do, and I was like, I'm okay on my little half-acre.
Yeah,
it's like inheriting a wasp's nest. You're like, no, thank you. You guys can take over that.
You might need to step. You might need to just step aside and let them live and let them do what they're gonna do. Because you've said it. You've said it again, and you've said it again. You might just need to let them lay in the bed that they made.
Well, and as far as the land and all that goes, I 100% agree. But as far as just her income and debt go, I've told her, I was like, there's got to be a way. And so, like, just her finances on her side alone, I don't know, like, there's no way, I don't really see a way for her to do the baby steps because she can't even meet the minimum.
Yeah,
but she could if she sold off some of this land. She's not assetless, and she's making the choice. Do you know what I'm saying?
But I'm guessing there was no written agreement here with this land of what would happen, who wants out, how would they get out, or someone going to buy her share.
I advise them that they need to have everything on paper, notarized, and none of that happened.
Yeah, I don't know that she can force the sale of this land because she's a minority stake here.
So
I would at least look into it with an attorney to see what the options are. I would try to influence your mom to say I want out to the siblings. I don't think you can influence the siblings at this point. I think there's already been enough of a wedge drawn there that you're not going to make any headway there. So that's the sad truth of it. But here's what I would do for your mom. Have her cover her 4 walls first, and if she can't make minimums on the credit cards, the credit card company can kick rocks. They're not going to get paid before food's on the table.
That's kind of what I told her. And so I was curious, a little additional advice in regards to that. She's barely making 4 walls now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, if she can't make the mortgage payment, sister's going to pick up the slack, isn't she?
That's right. That's what's going to happen.
Correct.
That's on her. Yeah. That's what happens when you co-sign.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I would be doing, is make sure mom is healthy, safe, has food, the lights are on, and I wouldn't pay the debts if you can't pay them. And next I would move to the mortgage if she can't pay it, because someone else is on the hook for that, and this is the price you pay. So I'm so sorry you're going through this, Micah. This is tough. Messy all around. I just don't see a happy ending here for anybody. The most you can do is just support her through this emotionally. For way too long, I struggled with sleep and woke up groggy after tossing and turning all night. But now, I look forward to bedtime and I wake up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed thanks to Casper, a company that's been perfecting better sleep for over a decade using durable, high-quality materials that actually last. My whole family now sleeps on Casper mattresses. Yes, even the dogs have their own Casper dog bed, to no one's surprise. And it's not just one man's opinion. Casper customers keep their mattresses for years, and 4 out of 5 customers recommend them to friends. And with free delivery and 100-night trial, Casper is no gimmicks. A mattress you can trust, backed by quality that lasts. So go to casper.com/Ramsey and use promo code Ramsey to receive 25% off all mattresses and 10% off everything else with code Ramsey. That's casper.com/Ramsey. Exclusions apply. Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. The number to call is 888-825-5225. Let me see if I can find our question of the day here. It's sponsored by YRefi. You didn't take out private student loans hoping to default, but life happens, and YRefi won't shame you. They'll help you explore a real plan to get back on track. So head to YRefi.com/Ramsey to find out more. That's the letter Y, REFY.com/Ramsey. Not available in all states.
Cool. Today's question comes from Andre in Oklahoma. I didn't sing this time, George.
Thank you.
I'm 21 years old and have roughly $75,000 in cash. My vehicle and motorcycles were paid with cash, as well as everything else. My question is, if I was looking to be a risky investor, where are my best options?
What? That took a wild turn.
He's ready to get crazy. Did I read that right?
I don't even know if this is a real question, but I'll treat it as such.
So he wants to invest the $75,000 in some risky behavior, some risky business?
I'm just confused because a 21-year-old must have worked their tail off to get $75,000 in cash, unless it was inherited. And so he's worked hard to make sure everything was paid in cash, avoid debt, and now he's wanting to take on risk somehow to be a, quote, risky investor. So my first question is, why? What is your actual goal? Do you want $1 million by 25? Well, then what's behind that? I want to get to the root of this because I think it's just young people going, well, I got to make a lot of money now.
Interesting. Maybe he's just asking for a friend and he's trying to...
well, you asked the wrong people. I don't do risky investing.
I mean, crypto? That would be very dumb.
Yeah, I guess if you wanted... If I was not me and I said I've got, $50,000 I want to go throw at something... I'd probably just put it all on black on crypto and hope for the best. Otherwise, just go to Vegas, go sports bet on a parlay or something. But
yeah, I'd day trade it and see if I could make a spread if I want to do the riskiest.
That a company's single stock does really well, like some
single stock,
AI pharmaceutical company or something.
Oh, you could buy a. Is it enough? No, I was gonna say he could buy a
half a Bitcoin. I don't know what the kids are doing these
Cybertruck,
days.
Since those are dropping like rocks.
That is definitely not an investment.
A lot of people think cars are an investment. Can I just say, when somebody buys a brand new car and they say, yeah, it was a solid investment, I'm like, you're an idiot. I'm respectfully, that's the dumbest thing you could ever say, that a new car is a solid investment. Moving on.
I've got a buddy of mine, and he bought like a Ford GT, and it was like $340,000. But he's like, well, it paid off because now it's worth $400-something thousand.
Certain cars.
But he also is, has to keep it pristine in storage, can't drive it, can't enjoy it, can't use it. I'm like, dude, just buy some art if you want to just put something on the wall to enjoy.
Yeah,
so
for real.
If you want to be an investor, I don't think risk should be a major factor you're looking for. So I would personally just park it in an index fund if you want some flexibility with this money that tracks the S&P 500. I would max out retirement accounts. I would invest in yourself. At 21, you're doing this well. Maybe start a business. That would probably be the best quote-unquote risky investment I would make is all cash, start a business based on something you're really passionate about, that you know a lot about, that you think you'd be good at.
I got to believe there was a typo here. And my guy just forgot one word.
I think where he's coming from is because he's so young, he feels like he can invest in something high risk, high reward, and has the time to make up for it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Basically, if he lost it all, he'd be like, okay, well, I'm 22 now. With less money, I'll be okay.
All right,
I'm not saying
words
it's good.
from
I
James.
just mean I think that's kind of that's where he's coming from.
I think this question came from producer James, and he secretly wants to know.
Is this you? Is this you asking for a friend, James?
I go by Andre in the street, so.
Oh, James is an old man. He's not looking for risk at this point. He's just looking for some peace and quiet. I love that. Great question, Andre. But when you say risky investor, it just all of my red flags go up at once.
Right.
Because I want you to build wealth and keep it. And, I'm a man of faith. I love this verse from Proverbs 13. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle. Whoever gathers little by little will increase it. So that's the principle I live by when it comes to wealth building. I'm trusting, Solomon over some dude on TikTok. I think the Bible has some great wisdom in that. So read Proverbs and then get back to us, Andre. Appreciate the question. All right, let's get to the phones. Pastor George has put the pulpit down. Here we go.
James is now Andre in my mind from henceforth forever.
So good. Aaron is in Denver up next. Aaron, how can we help today?
Hi, I'm thanks for taking my call. But we're trying to do essentially career change for my husband.
Okay.
And he's been 20 years. We don't get a pension, unfortunately, but he's done 20 years. He's ready to switch careers. But this career switch is going to be a huge hit to our finances as we build up back, some more experience in that new career.
What's he do
We're
now?
trying to find out. So he's in law enforcement right now.
Okay. What's he want to do?
He wants to fly helicopters.
Okay. And what does that process look like?
He's already gone through all the certifications. He's actually teaching and working part-time right now. So we've already gone through the schooling and all the things he needs for that.
What's the financial difference? So what's he making now as a cop, and what would he be making doing helicopters full-time?
So that's the thing. So as a cop, he's making $140 before taxes.
Okay.
But flying, he'll be essentially having that.
Halving that?
Until he can build up. Yeah, having.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any debt right now?
Just our house and child support.
Okay. Could you live off of $70,000 today?
Yes.
There was a lot of hesitation there.
Did you actually run the budget out?
I did. So I looked at, I followed the budget to save up because I have about 4 months saved up for kind of where we're at right now to cover at least our, child support and house and utilities.
Mm-hmm.
I have that saved up for 4 months.
When will the $70K go up, or is that kind of just what a helicopter pilot makes? Will it ever go up to $140?
It may. So it depends on your hours, right? Early hours, because he only has less. He has less than 300 hours right now, and to really start making have a decent job, EMS, oil rigs, stuff like that. That's up after 1,000 hours, up to 1,200 hours. So he's got a good way to go before he can start making comparable money to what we're making now.
So I'm seeing on my screen here stuff about taking out Helocs and pulling money out of retirement. Where does that come into play?
Yeah. So we're looking at, because again, right now he's not really making money. Right now he's making $25 an hour, and then when he makes, after a little while, he makes $30 an hour. And then after 500 hours, he can make $40 an hour.
How quickly does that happen?
Work. that depends on how many people want to fly. So it's contract work.
Got it. So it's inconsistent. And this is on top of his full-time law enforcement job. This is on the side, nights, weekends? Okay.
Well, we're looking at quitting next year so he can focus full-time on flying.
Okay.
And building those hours quickly. So that's why we're looking at the money, having that extra money or pulling the retirement. It'd be my retirement. So he has his retirement and I have mine from when I quit 2 years ago to be a stay-at-home mom.
I would not pull from your retirement to do this.
Okay.
I would, if anything, how much have you calculated that you kind of need as a cushion to do this?
So we're looking at the $70,000 to cover our debts.
Okay.
Our basics.
So you need you need $70,000 saved in order to make this transition the way you feel like you need to.
Yeah, for a year. That'll cover us for the year, yeah.
Okay. So how quickly on $140,000 with no debt could you save up that money? You already have 4 months of emergency fund, which is great. Mm-hmm. How long would it take you to do something like that? Because I feel like that's what's going to inform this. You can't go into debt over this because if you go in, let me tell you, if you pull out your retirement for this and for some reason it goes south or he doesn't make the money as quickly as you want to, you are going to be filled with resentment. He's going to be filled with guilt and shame and regret. And this is not going to be a good deal.
You're unplugging all of that growth. You're basically borrowing at 35% with all the penalties and fees. The Heloc's going to put your house at risk and add more pressure to all of this. I would not do this.
Nothing's on fire.
I would wait a year, save up the $70,000, live off 70 and save up the other 70, and then make the move a year from now as he gets more hours on the side. I just wouldn't rush this. It's going to add way too much pressure and stress to your life right now.
And you'll know you can live on the 70.
Exactly. It's a good test run for 12 months. If you ever Googled yourself, here's the 2 worst things you can find. photo evidence of your worst haircut, and your personal data floating around on some sketchy website. I mean, the bangs were regrettable, but your info being bought, sold, and reposted all over the World Wide Web, even worse. And trust me, it happens all the time. And that's why I use Delete Me. You guys, over 20 billion records have been leaked in recent years, and that info gets pulled into these people search sites. So stuff like your name, number, address, even your kids' names is out there for anyone to see. But if you're trying to clean up your personal data yourself, good luck. It can be a part-time job just submitting these opt-out requests. So if you don't want your personal info out there, you should be using Delete Me too. Delete Me has real people who track down your data, remove it from these shady sites, and make sure it stays removed. Plus, you get a report from Delete Me showing exactly what was found and what's been deleted. So, take back your privacy with Delete Me. Right now, Ramsey listeners get 20% off at joindeleteme.com/Ramsey with code Ramsey at checkout. So do that today. Joindeleteme.com/Ramsey, code Ramsey. Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. Good news, Jade. I know you've been waiting for this.
Have I?
The Christmas giveaway.
Oh,
It's
yes.
here.
I've been waiting.
And not only is it a Christmas giveaway, it's a Christmas cash giveaway, because we like to say cash is king around here.
Mm-hmm.
Each week, someone's going to win $500, and one grand prize winner will win $5,000. And you can enter every day from now until December 20th. You can enter daily to increase your chances to win. Just go to RamseySolutions.com/giveaway right now to enter. No purchase necessary to win. We're not going to be mad if you do purchase something, but you don't have to purchase something to be a part of the giveaway.
I want to interview the people that win this, and I want to know what they do with the money.
I remember when I was on the team, for a long time now, so I've had a lot of jobs here.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my jobs was email marketing.
Uh-huh.
And so we got to email the person.
Really? And tell them that they won?
Yeah, and I would send the email here's the winners for the week and all that. And so it was a lot of fun to get to be a part of the behind the scenes.
Fun.
I would hear my coworker call the person to let them know that they've won. It was like the game show. It was so fun.
Put me on that.
Real people win this thing, guys. We actually mean it. So there you go. Go enter. Jane is in Scranton, Pennsylvania up next. Welcome to the show, Jane. How can we help?
Well, thanks for having me on.
Sure.
I'm calling for some advice on how to handle my 29-year-old son who's moved back home to follow the Baby Steps Millionaire program. He wants to pay off all of his private student loan debt. So he's moved back home. We're glad to have him. I'm nearing retirement age. My husband's been retired a long time. We're in decent shape financially, no debt at all.
Good.
But expenses are hard. The cost of maintaining a home has increased, the cost of utilities, the cost of food, property taxes. So our budget gets stressed a little bit from time to time, especially, times of the year like this when the heat's on. And so
does it cost more to heat the house with him in it?
Well, not necessarily, but the cost of food goes up, and just him keeping the lights on where that part of the house might have normally been dark.
Sure, the water, the utilities will bump up a bit. He'll be eating your food, so your food bill is going to go up.
Why don't you tell him he needs to contribute a little something?
I did. So his response was, well, I asked him if he would take on one bill. I said, just one bill. You can pick out whatever one you want. So I showed him my, we have your budget app. So I showed him my every dollar budget, and I said, pick one. And his response was, well, let me look at all of your bills so that I can see how you can cut costs so I don't have to do this.
Let me tell you something.
Wow. That is maniacal. How about this? You say, you know what? Forget that plan. You're going to pay us $300 a month if you want to live here.
Or you can just go live somewhere else.
That sounds good to me.
Man.
But
is he working full time?
Oh, he has a very good job with. He's a government employee with a GS-13 level job.
Oh my gosh.
What does he make?
Oh, well over $100,000 a year, and right now he's in the military. He's a high-ranking officer, and he's making all of his money tax-free because it's an active duty deployment.
Oh.
And he won't pay one bill.
Well, how much debt does he have?
Doesn't want to. I'm sorry?
How much debt does he have?
He has no debt other than the student loan.
Okay,
so
well,
he just wanted
debt.
to invest?
No, he has debt. You said he has no debt except for all these
loans. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Just
debt.
student loan
If
debt.
it ends with
Yeah.
loan, it's debt. So
How
how much
much?
debt?
So I think he had well over 100,000. He's down to about 35,000.
Okay.
He moved back in to pay off 35 grand, making over 100. This feels crazy.
This is my son.
Well, what was he
But
doing
you
before?
said yes to this.
Was he renting before on his own or what?
He was renting before on his own. Prior to that, he was engaged to a wonderful woman, and he was living with her. They were supposed to get married in a couple of months, and she just got so frustrated with him being so cheap that she broke off the engagement and threw him out.
Okay, there you have it.
Oh, my goodness.
And there you have it. So this is a character trait of he was cheap with the girlfriend. Possibly one of the reasons they were living together was so he could lower his expenses. Because then right after that, he turns around and moves in with you. Do you know what I would do if I were in your shoes?
I'd love to know.
I would say he can't live here. I'd say I love you, but you can't live here. You don't need to live with me to pay off $35,000 of debt. You've got plenty of income in order to do that. And I see this as a pattern. Sir, son, you need to move out. And you need to learn to open up the purse strings.
He is not struggling financially. Now, if this guy had just gone through a really tough time, like a divorce, was on his, had nowhere to go, and he was really struggling financially, I'd say, hey, let's give him a bit of a hammock for 6 months to get him on his feet. This man doesn't need that.
I agree.
And so have you had that conversation?
I appreciate your help. No, we haven't had any kind of a hard conversation like that because he has just recently moved in. We're talking just a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's your husband
trying
say?
to set the ground. My husband is elderly. He's 25 years my senior. And at his age, he's just glad to have him back in the house.
I see. Yeah,
I would
be
give
careful.
a time. He's already in the house, so I would just create a timeline and say, listen, I know how much you make. I know you can put this much toward the debt. So if you do it this way, here's the rules. And if you can pay this off in, 6 months, let's say, is that possible?
Probably, yes.
That's $5,800 a month. Could he do that living at home with no expenses?
Absolutely, he can.
See, George is...
I'm just throwing napkin math out there, and she said absolutely he can because she knows how much he makes.
Yes, but I'm like,
Exactly.
the boy must go.
Yeah, I know, I agree. But he's literally made his bed, and they're laying in it, and so.
Well, I would do that if my husband wasn't so thrilled to have him home.
Here's what I think is going to happen.
He can come over every night for dinner. You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
You know, because what I see happening, because he loves saving money. He wants to save $1. And what I see happening is he pays off the debt. Then the next goal comes. Well, I want to save up X amount of dollars.
Just wait till I have enough for a down payment.
Yep. And it's going to, the goalpost is going to keep moving. And truly,
That's
he's
where I
29.
say, as soon as you have this debt paid off, you're gone, and that's going to be 6 months from now. And we're going to have a meeting every month, and you're going to show us the debt balance if you're going to be living here.
Do you think he'd do that?
He would. And I so appreciate this advice because I know he's listening.
Oh, good.
He's going to hear it
man.
firsthand from you.
Let
'cause he
me
never
send him a
misses your show.
message. Let me send him a message.
Sure.
Sir, if you're listening, I think that you need to move out. I think that you need to learn how to handle your expenses. It's okay. It costs money to live. As an adult, it costs money to adult. That's rent, that's a mortgage, that's paying for your own life. And at the very least, if you are going to live in your mama's house, you need to pay for the electricity that you use and the food that you eat at 29 years old. All right, Mama, I said it for you.
Mom's going to apply for him
Thank
to
you.
be on Extreme Cheapskates. And they're just going to follow him around the house with the camera, watching him mooch off of you guys and his elderly dad to save $1 while he makes 6 figures as a high-ranking official in the military. And also thank him for his service.
Yes, thank you for your
All
service.
jokes aside, he sounds like a great young man, but he's just too cheap for his own good.
He can't help it. He can't help it.
He already lost a great woman over this, you know?
Yeah, that's
Yes, he
true.
did.
You could have had a really sweet relationship with this woman if it all panned out.
Well, if he moves out, maybe he can get her back.
Now that would be a love story
It would
for
be
the
a love
ages.
story.
One never knows.
He's going to go to those 25-cent rings to try to propose. That's probably, she saw that writing on the wall and said,
Not
no,
good.
thank you.
That's not good.
Goodness gracious, what an interesting conundrum. I'm trying to really put myself in her shoes.
I couldn't.
Now, here's the thing. This is where I'm a softie. If it was my daughter, I think I'd treat it differently.
At 29, but here's what got me when she said, pick a bill to pay. And he's like, instead of me paying the bill, let me lower your expenses and crunch your budget and make you like that. That got me.
Yeah. The other thing that I've seen that can work decently is if you say, hey, you're going to pay $500 a month to live here. Mom and dad set that money aside in a savings account and give it back to him when he moves out as a surprise. That's a nice gesture if you don't need the money. But truthfully, they were saying it's already a little bit tight.
Yeah.
And so they could use the extra money if he's, mooching off the house and racking up the utility bills. I think that's fair.
It's a failure to launch for me. It's a failure to launch. He has the money.
And he has the discipline.
He does.
If you're a high-ranking official, you don't get there by being lackadaisical. So, man, that's a tough one, but what a sweet woman. I get it. She's just too sweet for her own good, and he's too cheap for his own good. Welcome back to The Ramsey Show in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio. I'm George Kamel, joined by my good friend Jade Warshaw, and we're taking your calls at 888-825-5225. Joey's up next in Orlando, Florida. Joey, what's going on?
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. What's your question?
Thank you for having me. So about 2.5 years ago, we bought a house and renovated this house, kind of knowing it would be a really solid investment. Knew that if we got too tight, something we could sell and end up making some money on. We bought the house and got into it. What we didn't expect was to kind of fall in love with our neighbors in our community. And now we've got 4 kids, and we've kind of built this community around us that the kids can kind of roam freely. And really, it's kind of become a dream scenario in that way, but we're living a little tighter than we'd like to. So the question kind of comes down to, should we be willing to sacrifice the community and take the profit from the house and move that into something where we have a little bit more financial peace, or do we stick it out and see if we can kind of grow our resources to a point where it makes sense to continue living in this scenario?
Wow. What's your mortgage every month?
It ends up being about $5,700.
Woo. And how much do you bring home after taxes?
Well, it varies because the way my wife owns some commercial real estate, and I'm in the live production business. So at times we get paid. We kind of do it more quarterly than monthly.
Mm-hmm. If you were to take the average across the year, what would it be monthly?
Monthly ends up being probably around $12,000 a month.
Okay. So yeah, you're feeling it.
You're right.
You're starting to climb up to almost half of your take-home pay being eaten up by the mortgage. Do you guys have any other debt?
No. We have a car payment and one car payment, and that's it.
Okay. Has the mortgage always been this large? Or did you roll?
It has not. No, we actually, our old mortgage, for this house, yes, it has always been this much.
And how long have you been there? You've been managing almost half of your take-home pay going to this for how long?
About 2.5 years.
Okay.
Wow. What's left on the balance of the mortgage?
A lot.
Like $1 million? I'm trying to figure out what causes a $6,000 mortgage payment.
It's about 500, and I think our mortgage is about 575. We still owe somewhere around 570, because we've been.
And what's the house worth?
Interest. It's worth about 1.4 currently.
Nice. So you got a good amount of equity in there, which is awesome. Is there any opportunity for your incomes to grow sustainably to closer to $20,000?
Yeah, I just started this job last January. And in my first year, I doubled my salary from the previous year, and there's potential for that to grow again in the coming years.
So wait a minute. At one point, this mortgage was even higher if you just now doubled your salary?
No, so what we have done is the community we live in has a lot of garage apartments that allow us to be able to take some of that income So we actually rented out our garage apartment for the last 2 years. That brought in
Okay.
around $1,500 a month.
Understood.
On
Okay.
top of that. So
On top of the 12 or so that you're bringing in?
On top of the 12.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I think I would feel good about this if we can make sure that both of our incomes are going up, and over the next year, there's a trajectory to get to that, 20-ish mark. Because this mortgage it's only going to go up at this point because of property taxes and insurance increasing.
Correct.
So the only thing you could do to lower the payment long term is refinance or do like a recast. If you have a lump sum payment you make on that principal, you could recast it, and then it'll just lower that monthly payment while keeping the same balance in term. So those are the only two options you have other than selling, downsizing. Are there cheaper homes in the same neighborhood that would allow you to keep the community?
Not at the same size, no.
You got 4
unfortunately.
kids, so.
Yeah.
Is there, and you have no savings to speak of anywhere?
I have some, but not much. We would certainly like to build more margin in those areas. We're kind of at the point where we're just now starting to get a little bit into that margin, but
how old are
still
you?
at a point, if the air conditioner goes wrong, it's bad luck.
Yeah.
I am 39 years old.
39. And there's nothing in retirement, hardly?
No. No retirement to speak of.
See, that's that.
I was in ministry for 20 years and was kind of barely making it for.
I'm worried. I'm going to tell you my worry, and it's probably your worry too. I'm worried that if you hang on to this too long, you're going to miss out on valuable years of investing. Because it's going to take some time to get this down. Because even to George's point, if you say you start going on a positive trajectory for the next year, even if you get it down to 40%, it's still going to be taking away from your ability to do that. That's
Correct.
really 25% is where you want to be. And even at 30, it's kind of like you can do it, but I'd love for you to get it a little lower, right? So I'm a little nervous about that. I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie.
I'm at the point where I know the financial, the smartest move financially would be to sell and take that money and to invest and start building that. But the part that's hard is the investment into my children, into my family,
that's
into their
very
lifestyle.
tough. Is there? I mean, I feel you on that because I have young kids and I think about the same thing sometimes. Part of that, though, I will say, when you have a great community, part of that is you as well, because that means that you're the type of person who, when you see other people, you speak, you remember people's names, you make an effort, right? So part of that's on you. And
yeah, the fallacy is if we moved anywhere else, we would never have a great community. And so you kind of have to take that part off the table because it's justifying staying in a bad situation. Because the overall fear is, and you feel this too, is the dream home turns into a nightmare retirement. And you can't accomplish any financial goals, but we can just survive in the house for the time being. And your payroll's not going down anytime soon. You got 4 younger kids?
How old are they?
They're I've got from 1 year to 11 years.
Yeah, and the 11-year-old, before you know it, they're going to be looking at college. So these are the things that are knocking on your door in the next 6 years or so. I
would give it a timeline.
To sell their house.
I would give it a timeline. And you and your wife sit down together and start to map out a plan and bust our butts to figure out what we can do career-wise. If we want to keep this lifestyle up, here's what it's going to take income-wise. And that means taking home $20,000 and the mortgage is now $5,000 or $6,000 of that. And if you can get to that point in the next year, and that might mean, hey, I got to start my own business here, or you're going to have to go do this on the side to try to figure this out and see if it's sustainable. And if after a year you're still in the same shape, I would go, all right, I'm 40 now. We tried. We're going to have to make a hard call to move neighborhoods and downsize and take our, probably 700-something thousand in net proceeds and roll that into another house, either with cash or take on a very small mortgage so that you guys can breathe. Because making 12, your mortgage should be closer to like $3,000, $4,000 max versus $6,000. And so these are the hard choices to make. But you're very thoughtful about this. And this is a conversation for you and your wife to decide. The timeline, we can't do it for you. Nothing's on fire, but you can see the fire in the distance. Yeah. That's the fear here, Joey. We're rooting for you, man. All right, let's talk real estate, Jade, shall we? It's on a lot of people's minds right now.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is.
Buying or selling a home is a big deal, and there's a lot of clickbait headlines out there, conflicting data, fear-mongering, and it's hard to know what's really happening in the market. So we're here to make the latest trends easy to understand. Median home prices dipped a bit last month to about $426,000. A typical season shift as we head into the fall, and buyers have more options and negotiating power, and sellers face a little more competition. Mortgage rates dipped slightly to 5.5% in September, giving some buyers breathing room. And since rates are unpredictable, do not try to time the market. Just buy when you're financially ready, not when rates drop or when you hope they drop. So to learn more about housing market trends and get free tools to help you buy or sell with confidence, head to RamseySolutions.com/market or click the link in the show notes if you're listening on podcast or YouTube. Jessica is in New York City up next. Welcome to the show, Jessica.
Hello. 5 years ago, my father gave me $60,000 for a down payment on a house, and he wrote a gift letter so that I believe legally I don't have to pay back that $60,000, but verbally he asked me to either pay it back over the years or have it taken out of my inheritance. And every year my father gives a gift to his children, to his 4 children, in cash, and we can either take the cash or have it, given back as part of loan repayments, because we all use my dad as a bank in some way or another. And this year, my father very generously wants to give us $10,000, which is a huge amount. And he wrote me an email saying I could take the $10,000 in cash, but he really wants me to start paying back the loan with interest. It's now $71,000. I didn't know there was interest. So
that's interesting.
I know.
So wait,
I have a short term.
He gives $10,000 every year, but that part is the gift.
No. It could be $1,000. It's like his Christmas present.
Got you.
But
this year,
and he decides each year. This year it's a big one. It's $10,000, and he's saying he's going to withhold that because you haven't paid back his loan/gift plus interest.
Saying I could take the cash if I want, but he encourages me to start repaying the loan.
Did you know the loan had interest?
No.
Is this written anywhere? This was just a verbal, hey, you owe, and he expects that to hold up?
Yes.
Goodness Christ.
How
this
long
whole
ago?
thing just feels toxic. Is your dad controlling?
Not really. He shows love, I would say, by giving money. That's his connection to his children.
But he gives it, and then is he gonna come back around and say, well, hey, I gave you $10,000 for Christmas? I would expect that back at some point.
Yeah, why was the $60,000 suddenly a loan when everything else is a gift? Is that him trying to build some sort of responsibility into you? What's the meaning of that?
I'm not sure. I know he's done it for all of his other children. He helps them buy houses, but I don't know the details of their financial situations, like how much he gave to each of them and who's paid it back and who hasn't.
Well, if I were in your shoes, I'd be trying to get out of this loan as fast as possible because I don't like the way it feels.
What'd you use the $60,000 on?
A down payment for a house.
Okay, and you're living in that house now?
Yes.
Is it just you, or are you married?
I just got married a few months ago.
Okay, what's your husband saying about this? Does he know?
He does know. I did talk about it with him, and he said, don't put it in writing. Don't respond to the email saying that I acknowledge that there is a loan, and just to wait it out and see what happens with an inheritance, whenever that may be. Who knows if it's 5 years, 10 years, 30 years.
Yeah, but in the meantime, the relationship with your father is destroyed.
And apparently interest is accruing.
Yeah, I did the math for you. It's about 3.4% compound interest.
Did he give you the option for it to be taken out of your inheritance? Did he give you that option?
Not in this recent email. That's just what I remember him saying, 5 years ago.
I'd do that. I'd say, yeah, Dad, if you want to take it out of my inheritance, that's good. And I'd get that in writing so that you're free and clear, because that's money that you don't have yet. It's not affecting your life today. So, yeah, I'd do that.
Can you afford to pay him back the $60,000 in a reasonable amount of time?
No, I could. If he keeps giving me $10,000 a year, I could keep telling him, sure, put it back towards the loan, and it would be paid back.
That's what I was going to say. Will he just apply the $10,000? Say, hey, Dad, just take that off my loan balance, which gets me to $61,000. back to square one. He would do that?
Yes, I could do that.
It just feels so silly.
That's going to take 7 years.
Yes.
While interest accrues, it'll just keep climbing back up and then get knocked back down a little bit.
Ask him if he'll take it out of the inheritance.
Can you call him instead of emailing like a transactional bank? Just the whole thing feels odd to me.
It's really more of a moral question. It's why I called, because I wasn't sure how to handle the situation and really if I should even try to pay it back.
I think
pay back the loan
if it was a loan and you knew it was a loan, you have to pay it back. Now, the interest part, I don't really like that he added that and you didn't know about it. But I do think that if he has said, I can just take it out of your inheritance, I'd go that route. I just want it in writing so that this is over and done. The transactional part, I hate that it's like that, but we're here now. So you may as well cover your butt and get the fact that the whole loan is going to be free and clear covered in your inheritance.
Well, it's going to be hilarious as part of the inheritance. He's going to go, well, it's now $150,000 balance on this fake loan, so that's how much I'm going to take out of your inheritance.
Well,
that is what I worry about.
I'd want it at the present value, not at a later value.
At this point, I would say, hey, Dad, we never did this in writing. We should have. That's both of our bad. We need something in writing to make this really clear of what your expectations are, because I'm frustrated because you didn't explain any of this to me, and now I owe $11,000 more to Bank of Dad while he's trying to gift me other money. This whole thing is strange, and I don't know if you can see it because of your relationship with him, but there's just something odd about all of this.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I'd take any more money.
Okay.
And this is why we tell people, don't loan your family money ever. If you want to gift it and do it joyfully and don't expect it back. But this whole, it's a gift as far as the IRS is concerned, but it's a loan secretly and verbally. Mm-hmm. You can see how messy this stuff can get.
Yes, I appreciate
So
the
morally,
a lot.
do I think you're a bad person if you don't pay it back and it gets taken out of the inheritance? No. But in the meantime, again, the relationship with your dad is gone as far as you know it if this isn't taken care of. Because this is looming in his mind every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, when he's about to gift you more money, he's going, yeah, but should I? She owes me money and hasn't paid me a dime back. So either get on a payment plan or decide it's going to be part of the inheritance at the current rate and just move on with your life. But I don't think we can stay at this status quo that we're in. Oh, man, that hurts my heart, Jade. Because I just, I'm trying to picture myself in that dad's shoes, giving or loaning my daughter, my grown daughter, money. And I just... I would hate for a relationship.
It's power play.
Yeah, it makes you the lender and, the debtor. And I just think that makes an awkward relationship for someone that you raise, that you love. Mm-hmm. If you love them and you want this to be a gift, let it be a gift.
Yeah, just
and if you're not comfortable with that, don't loan the money. Just say, hey, wish I could help. I can't.
Right.
And
I agree.
Don't co-sign. Don't do any of that. But the middle ground is where things get messy. When you want to help, but it's kind of a loan.
Yeah. It's just give people money, especially your family. I'm thinking about my kids right now, and I'm thinking, yeah, if the time came and Sam and I wanted to help them, we would just help them. And it almost feels like anything else is an attempt to kind of try to control them from beyond.
That's what I think. There's something more to this, and we couldn't pinpoint it.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to teach them responsibility, so I'm going to...
But I just wonder if he likes having a little bit of control, because once kids are adults, they're kind of out of your control.
Yeah. So you have to do things to
get
pull
the
rope
spidey
back
web.
in. Yeah.
Cast your spidey web on them so you have a little bit of connection there. Even if it's not a true, honest, authentic connection, it's still something that ties me to them that they can't get away from.
Sometimes parents do that, though. It's so subconscious. Like, they don't realize that that's the why behind what they're doing. Gotta be careful.
Yeah. I just hope my kids know I love them more than, well, they show their love through money, giving or loaning. I want them to know that's the last thing on the list.
That's good, George.
So that's just one man's take as a dad of a young daughter. Take it with a grain of salt. Joshua is in Greenville, South Carolina up next. What's going on, Joshua?
Hey, Jade. Hey, George. How are y'all?
Doing great.
Thanks for answering my call.
Yeah. What's going on with you today?
So I am struggling with, got offered my dream law enforcement job. I used to be in law enforcement. Long story short, about a year and a half ago, I made a officer safety mistake. I'm searching an individual, and I missed a firearm and brought him into the jail when I was arresting him, and so they let me go for failing to conduct a proper search. So a guy that I used to work with, he's now works at a different law enforcement department, and offered me a traffic position, like their traffic unit, basically just stopping cars all day.
Mm-hmm.
When I got fired, I became a truck driver because my whole family was in the trucking industry. So I just figured that's the best thing to do was just go get my CDL and start driving trucks.
Right.
But it is a significant pay cut, and my wife doesn't really want me to go into law enforcement, go back into law enforcement, but I really feel like that's my calling. So I'm just trying to figure out how can I have that conversation with her that this is where I feel God's calling me to be.
So this is not financial at the core. This is safety at the core. Is that what it is?
What's
for
the
your
root
wife?
of her not wanting you to do this?
I think it's more so safety as far as, I may go to work and not come home.
Okay. Is this position safer than your previous law enforcement position, or it's about the same?
No, it's about the same.
Or is it worse?
The difference is you're in the road, and that puts you, it's a little more hazardous in that regard.
Yeah.
But I mean, trucking isn't the safest job out there either.
Yeah, it's not the healthiest either.
No, I haul gasoline, so
that's an extra layer of danger. A super flammable. Yeah, okay.
I would say so. I stay away from those trucks when I'm on the road.
Yeah, if you give her facts and figures, like, hey, this is how many trucking accidents and injuries and deaths there are per year versus traffic, department officers.
Right.
Could you convince her of that, or is it more just like emotional at this point?
I think it's more so emotional, but also it is a significant pay cut. So I get VA disability. I get $4,300 a month from the VA for my military service.
Okay.
And then I make before taxes about $1,500 a week from the trucking. But I would be going down to about $55,000 or $60,000 a year if I were to leave truck driving and go into law enforcement. It would equate to about a $20,000 to $25,000 a year pay cut.
Okay, my math was giving me $10,000 or $15,000 pay cut because you're making $6,000 a month now, which is 72, and you're saying you'd make 55 to 60. So
right, but then also, I guess okay. I guess I did my math wrong.
I just want to make sure it's not to point out you're wrong. It's more to say let's get the facts on the table if we're going to talk to wife about this and go, okay, here's what this amounts to. We're going to have 1,000 less per month gross coming in. Now, can we survive off of my 4,300 plus the other 4,000?
Should be able to.
I hope so. And that's where I think it would help to actually make a budget based on what you would be making and then go, okay, how does this life feel? Does it feel tight? Can we still accomplish our goals? Can we still retire with dignity? And then we can talk about the safety implications of the new role and how she feels about that. But do you think it's something where over time she could change her mind about this if you kind of laid out the facts and figures?
I mean, I think so.
Is she working as well outside the home?
No, she's a stay-at-home mom.
Okay, does that add to this of her sort of the safety gland, security gland flaring up here? When you're the single income?
I mean, I guess yeah.
You guys have life insurance?
I actually just got a quote the other day through Xander, but we have not actually gotten the life insurance yet.
Good. I would do that ASAP and don't delay on that. Because here's the thing. The more I know that my family's protected, the better I feel about whatever's going to happen. And that's we're betting on the worst case scenario. I hope you live a long, full life with no injuries or accidents. But the truth is, we just don't know what life's going to throw at us, no matter what career you're in. And so the more you can show her that you're being proactive, I think the better she'll feel about this. And it may take a little bit of time. 1 month in is scary. 4 months into this conversation, maybe she'll be warming up to it. I don't know.
Okay.
But, I mean, this is going to be a constant conversation in the house, and she's probably going to get sick of it.
Yeah, I mean, my take on it is they both, obviously law enforcement has a level of danger. But
you did that for how long?
Your other job does too.
Yeah, both jobs are dangerous. So it's not like you're choosing one that's a desk job and one that's, risking your life. So that's where I think logic would help, but that's where I was trying to get to the bottom of where your wife is at on this. Because the pay cut doesn't concern me that much.
Not much of a...
Because you have your $4,300, which is stable, and you're not cutting the income in half.
Yeah,
so
how much is your mortgage?
$1,700 a month.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
That's reasonable. And do you guys have any debt?
I have. We're in baby step 2, so I have a 2 credit cards that are $1,000 each and a $20,000 truck, and that's it.
Okay, here would be my stipulation. If you talked to her and said, hey, I'm not going to make any moves until we're completely debt-free with a fully funded emergency fund and life insurance in place, and I'm going to make sure to work my butt off to get our income back up, would that change the conversation with her?
That probably would.
Or, hey, I'm willing to sell my truck to get us to a better place financially to make this move. Would that light her up to go, oh, my goodness, who is this person?
Probably.
I would try all of the above to show her how serious you are about this, how passionate you are about this. And I think over time, if you make all of these moves happen, you lay it all on the table, you actually act the part and do all of the work, like I mentioned, I think it'll change the way she sees this. And even then, there's may always just be a part of her that doesn't like that you did this. But at the end of the day, it's either you being miserable in a trucking job and still have some safety issues, or you being really happy in this new position back to what you feel called to do.
Yeah, because there's part of this where I'm thinking, you've been doing this job, you were law enforcement the whole time for the most part that you've been together, so it's not like you made this radical change into this crazy field that she had no idea you were, headed towards. So that's the only reason I think it's okay.
Man, that is tough. I'm just picturing you driving around with gasoline in the back, and she's like, well, that feels a whole lot safer.
That doesn't feel good to me.
Than you standing outside of a church directing traffic or on a while they're doing
making
construction.
Traffic stops, you got to pull people over. You don't know who's in that car. That window goes down.
That's the question. Is he doing traffic stops? Is it more,
Yeah.
I just see him out there on Sundays,
I think
for
that's
construction
like
jobs.
Or
accidents, they might be out there for an accident. And that could be, that can be scary. There's definitely some safety concerns there, but I just feel like it's not apples to apples, and neither are safe. So let's at least be realistic about what the options are.
He's living life on the edge.
He
likes it there.
Yeah. He wants to be out there in the action.
Yes, he does. Somebody needs to do it.
Yeah. But the other part is, in the truck world, it just does feel like it's hard to be healthy. It's hard to live a long, full life and be physically healthy.
You're going into Wawa,
mentally
you're
healthy.
sleeping in the cab, you're eating snacks.
It feels
Mountain
like
Dew.
Your quality of life, it's hard to keep that high while being in the trucking world.
You would probably have to work very hard to make sure you're getting the exercise you need, moving your body, eating healthy, sleeping well. That's a lot.
Man, both tough jobs. I don't know. If you asked me to pick one.
Ooh.
I don't know. I probably would choose. I don't like being just driving that thing would freak me out.
I think I'd choose law. Oh boy, that's a hard one.
I could see you pulling me over, and I'd try to break you to see if I can get out of a ticket, and you would not be having it today.
Nope. I'd have my notepad.
State Trooper Warshaw.
Did you know you were speeding?
Oh man, we need to make a skit about that. That's
your
good.
license is expired.
Our scripture of the day, James 1:5. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given to him. Jim Collins said, bad decisions made with good intentions are still bad decisions.
We get that all the time on the show here.
A lot of good intentions.
You had the right idea in mind, just did it the wrong way.
Well, I thought if they needed a co-signer, I thought I should co-sign to help them out. It's a bad decision with good intentions. It's a bad decision.
Still bad.
Rachel's in Minneapolis up next. What's going on, Rachel? How can we help today?
Hey, George. Hey, Jade. Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely.
I am 29 years old and single. I was living with a roommate back in June, but I moved back home with my mom to help her out with the mortgage. She's having trouble paying it. She's 62. She doesn't have any retirement. She actually had to, didn't have to. Catch my verbiage there. She liquidated it back when my parents were married because they were in a bunch of debt, and the divorce was really hard on her. This was like 15 years ago, but I'm on baby step 2. I've paid about $8,000 down on all my debts. I've got 3 left, so I'll be out of debt very soon here. But I'm just wondering, do I move out and just do life on my own, or my heart is telling me that as the oldest sibling, I should help my mom pay off this mortgage because she only makes about $30,000 a year and she can't afford it.
Is she in bad health? Is she sick?
No, she's in great health.
Then no.
Here's the problem. Let's play this out. This is the rest of your life. Do you really see a world where mom is like crushing it and has a paid off mortgage and has retirement? Or is this you needing to basically prop up mom's life while it stunts your growth, personally, professionally, financially?
Yeah.
And that's the hard truth of it. So the next part is, well, then how do we get mom to a better place financially where she's still independent and doesn't need me or my money to survive? That's the ideal scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then it becomes, okay, could we sell the house and downsize or have her rent and still cover all her bills and have some left over? That would be my solution if she can do that. So what is the house worth?
On Zillow, it says it's about $304.
And what does she owe?
$136.
Okay, so she's got some good equity in this.
Would she be open to that idea or no?
No. I mean, I've asked her what her plan is long term, and she's like, well, I'll just sell the house one day, live off of that, and live with one of you guys. I have 2 younger brothers. And
did you tell her that's not an option?
I've been listening to your show for the last month now, and I've learned boundaries you got to set healthy boundaries.
Planning to be a burden is a bad plan, and that's what she's doing.
Yeah.
And as long as you're communicating that to her, and it's not just because sometimes what happens is people are like, I have a boundary, that's not going to happen. But it's like internal, you haven't told them. So as long as you're telling them verbally, and it's an expectation that you're saying, here, this is my boundary. I just want to make sure you know, I plan on being married with children, and by the time you're ready to, move in with me, I might be getting married. I might be in a part of my time in my life where I don't want an extra person living in the house. So I'm letting you know that today, while you're still very young and you still have, 10 years to really financially affect your situation. We had a call like this earlier today. But I want to tell you, Rachel, that sometimes we do have a picture in our mind of, especially people we love, how their life should look, whether it's your kids or even your parents, especially as they get older. We kind of create, this fairy tale of what we think it should be like. And then when it's not like that, we put so much effort into trying to make it like that. And we'll go to extents. I feel it. Like, we'll go to so many extents to create the life that we saw for our own parent. And you just can't do that because it's you trying to control, and you're like Geppetto trying to, control the way the story ends. And sometimes you just have to throw your hands up and go, it's not my life. And to quote John, you kind of have to grieve that and go, man, I thought it was going to be one way, and it looks like she's kind of going to struggle. Unless
if you didn't intercede, she's going to get foreclosed on if she misses enough mortgage payments. She knows that, right?
Yeah, and I mean, my brothers and I would have stepped in, but I partially feel guilty because I'm getting a good deal living here. Like, we're splitting the mortgage, so I'm paying, $775, which is significantly cheaper than anywhere else I would get rent. So I feel
And that's half the
kind of
mortgage?
guilty. Like, I can get, yeah, we're splitting it right now. So the minimum payment's like 15, but like she's helping me out in a way because I'm saving money and able to pay off my debt, and then I'm going to start building up my emergency fund and saving up for a down payment.
But at some point,
know,
you're going to move on with your life and maybe get married. And so it's artificially propping up her life right now because she makes, what, a little over $2,000 a month?
Yeah.
And her mortgage alone is $1,500, and that doesn't include insurance, food, utilities.
But you guys are in the same situation. The same way you're using this as an advantage and saying, oh, I can lower my expenses by living with her. And in the meantime, now I can take my extra money and do this. She can do the same thing. She can say, oh, this is a great time. I can take advantage of the time that my daughter's here covering half the mortgage. Now I can go out. If I make more money, I can make more headway with it. Do you see what I'm saying? You're in the same boat. Yeah. You're just choosing to take the paddle and row forward, and she's just leaving the paddle in the boat and hoping that you'll row for her.
And planning to live off of $150,000 for the rest of her life is insane. And I don't know if she knows that yet. And I guess she's assuming that you all are just going to fund her life and pay all of her bills so she won't have to even touch that money. But you need to make it clear that's not going to work. That's not the plan, as much as she wants it to be the plan. And so that might be convincing her that she needs to sell this house and downsize to a $200,000 condo or townhome, something she can afford, maybe further out than she wants to be, so that she can afford this mortgage. So the mortgage is $600 instead of $1,500, and now she can survive on her own. It's not a great life. She still needs to get her income up because she's going to have to work for the foreseeable future, right? She has no retirement, no savings.
So we did actually stumble upon a $33,000 pension that we're rolling over into an IRA, like a Roth IRA.
Good.
So I was planning on putting it in some mutual funds like you guys suggest. So hopefully, every 7 years it'll double. So we've got that at least.
That's something. Maybe one day she can utilize that. It's not enough. It's not like, woo.
It doesn't change
it's like
things
finding
today.
$20 in your old coat pocket. It's not like winning the lottery. So it's great, but she still needs something sustainable. And that I don't know why she's only making $14 an hour at 62. What is she doing full time?
So she's a tailor, but she also sells custom men's clothing.
So that feels more like a side job.
Is that like commission?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would try to find something she needs something stable right now. And if she has that skill set, I think she can be making more if she's hustling. I know it's not fun at 62 to be working harder than you've ever worked, but you need to let her feel the fire that's in her life right now.
And she's healthy, man. 60's the new 40.
Yeah, I mean, that's younger than Dave Ramsey, and that man is not stopping.
He's working
anytime
all
soon.
day, every day. Yeah, I think you got to give her more credit. She's not elderly. She's not, it's not like she can't go out and do some hard work today.
Yeah. Can she go work at a different shop and do tailoring?
I've asked her about, increasing her income, and she's just not very motivated. Like, she's just like, I can't go out and
You know what would motivate her? Not being
like,
able to make her mortgage payment because daughter moved out, and now I have to do this.
Right.
And right now, there's a little bit of almost enabling to where she's a little comfortable because she's got you to float the gaps, right?
Yeah.
And I think discomfort is what she actually needs right now. As cruel as it actually feels, it's the healthiest thing you can do for a grown adult to get them on their own feet versus artificially propping them up. So I'm so sorry you're going through this. It is so much easier said than done. And if this was my own mom, I would be having the same feelings as you. You want to do anything to help them out. But again, you're not in a place of strength to even help her out. You're also struggling financially, trying to pay off debt. If you had multi-million dollars, I'd say, hey, just pay off her mortgage and
help her out.
Help her out here. But you're just not in a position to do that at this stage of your life, and that's okay. So good luck with the conversations. I hope we can get her to a sustainable place where she feels motivated, independent, and you're not her retirement plan. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. Until next time, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.